Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Erlengrat. At least it was in FS19, because I did try to do that in FS17, and I couldn't make any money on it because leasing the tractors ended up being too expensive. It got too costly leasing tractors. Leasing the rest of the machinery, I think that's something that we could do. Leasing tractors, I don't think you can make enough money to make that actually viable, although I haven't tested it properly in FS19. So maybe that could work. Maybe it wouldn't. There's definitely a question mark on that one. There's definitely a question mark on that one. I'm not wild about the idea, to be honest. There's plenty of other kind of things I feel that we could go and do. But yeah, we'll run with it. I need to hear your feedback. I need to hear what you want to see, and then we can sort of take it from there. Because this series is more about what you want to see, whereas my other series is really more about, I just kind of play things how I want, and I'll see what you say in the comment section as we go through, and tweak things accordingly if I think, yeah, okay, I don't mind doing that. This one, though, I try to sort of follow along with advice that people give and suggestions you make. May not look like it at times, admittedly, but I do read your comments and I do take them on board, and I do kind of like make adjustments every now and then accordingly. I just haven't gone and gotten any cheap tractors off of the mod hub yet, mainly because I'm going with these tractors that are here. But yeah, I mean, maybe we could do a series with cheap tractors and then new machinery, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'll wait and I will hear your feedback on that. Here, to start with, at least, we are aiming to plant grass in this field right here, because we don't have the money to go and do it all with potatoes. We would need to have a big potato harvester if we were going to go and do that, and we don't currently have the money to do that. So that's definitely out at the moment. Besides which, we'd also want a bigger potato planter, because I am definitely not going to plant this field here with that tiny little potato planter that we've got down the bottom. That, I feel, would be possibly the most tedious task I'd ever attempted to undertake in Farming Simulator at all, anywhere ever. I just don't think I would want to do that. Right, so I know I didn't turn the plow over. That's because I'm actually plowing up two different sides, and we're leaving a shallow ditch up through the middle, which we then run over with the cultivator a few times, and that removes it. So we've done everything up to this point. We've just got a section along the top to finish off, and then we can start doing the next bit. So before we do any more with that one, I'm just going to turn off the allow create field. Going to go and get you. I'm also going to go in here, and I've got a new fertilizer job there. Well, while it's nice that I've got a new fertilizer job, I'm not actually going to go and take that fertilizer job, because I'm going to see if I can put the cultivator on this tractor. I didn't realize I could get out through here. Okay, that makes life a bit easier. I'm going to put the cultivator on this tractor, and I'm going to see if this tractor has the oomph to pull that cultivator up and down the field, and then we'll worry about the other fertilizer job some other time. I've still got 1,200 euros there, and we've got probably enough seed to get our field planted, although I am tempted, very, very tempted actually, to... I mean, we can get started on doing the cultivating, that's fine, but what I'm thinking is that we might, instead of getting the planting going this evening, go right through... I knew he was going to do that. And we cultivate, or we can at least start working on the cultivating until the ploughing is finished. Maybe head up and move a little bit more silage into the sell points. Fill up the sell point there with a couple loads of silage. And then skip the night, get the money in for that. Have our machinery and equipment ready for the potatoes, potentially. And then we can go on and do some other stuff tomorrow, and that way we've got our money come in from the silage, so we kind of know then what we've got and what we haven't got. Let's lower you down here, unhitch that one, and then I can go over and I can get this piece of machinery over here. So by altering the level of the land up here, I've actually made it quite a bit steeper on that bank, which makes it a little bit more difficult to get in and out of here. But if we go and change this again, and we end up removing that tree and putting the track along the bottom, which I probably should have done to start with. That probably should have been something that I did right from the beginning. Let's just shunt you back over there like that. Yeah, if we'd done that to start with, I think that probably would have been a better option for us. Build the track down the bottom there. We didn't. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you over here. And I'm going to put the cultivator going here. With hired help, just like that. And we'll see how he gets on. It is slow, there's no denying that. So long as he turns left when he gets to the top of the hill, though, that's all that I really care about. Part of the reason I suspect that he's as slow as he is, and that we might have trouble, is the repair state of this tractor is down to almost half, which is when you start to run into some slight problems. Now, there's that little tiny patch of potato right there. And now there is no longer a tiny patch of potato right there. That's actually a good thing. That's what we wanted to do. So he's coming up here, and he's keeping that nice and straight. I'm going to let this one go right the way across the field here. And then I think we will, I'm not quite sure how we're going to do this, but I think we will start it over there and start working up and down from that side over there. Up here, he goes along at a good rate. I didn't think this tractor would do quite so well with pulling this cultivator, to be honest. I really didn't. And you get to there, like that. Okay, I don't know where he was heading off to, but I'm going to bring him back over this way, and then I'm going to manually go around the edge of the field just on this bit. That's going to give us a little bit of room to turn round. And then when we've done that, we'll start the hired help going from this side over here. There's not a lot of room to be turning round on, but it should be just enough that it'll... I mean, even if it doesn't take every single little bit of the ploughed land out, it should clean up most of it. And then the little kind of dip bits that we had here... Well, there's one bit there that we don't have anymore, but I did go into that one over that side. That was the other... I was actually seriously considering removing that. And now, in hindsight, I think perhaps I should have done. Removed it back over to here. There's also a little bit of a dip in the field right there. That's a really uneven bit of field right there. So much so... Because back up this way, it levels up again. Alright, so much so that, in fact, I'm gonna change that. We're going to go into the landscaping. I hope I got enough money to do this. Now bring that along there. So we got that one down through there. If I change the shape of this, it will actually just run along that edge there, which would be perfect. I'll change the shape back over to this one. We'll make it a bit bigger, and we go to the smoothing and leveling process, because this is the bit that I want to smooth and level in here. I'll bring that up. Now, I've actually got the strength of the brush is quite weak, so I'm going to change it now. I'm going to go all the way up to max strength. There you go. You can see the difference on that. Just on that leveling. Ooh, definitely don't. I don't want to go any further than that. And then just bring it out over here. Like that in there. So I don't want to do any more than that. I'll then switch over to this one, and we will go to this shape right here. I'll zoom out a little bit. And I'm going to have the edge of the field now. So we've got grass that we're going to paint on here. It's going to come down through here like this. And I'm going to keep that in a straight line all the way up through here. It's a bit of a waste of field, but I mean, this is all grass in here. And the amount of time that it takes us to sort of go back through and correct the bits just in there is painful. And there's a slight dip in there where I did go in a little bit too far, but personally, I'm okay with that. And then if I just paint that in with grass up here, like this. There. Right. I haven't lost a lot of the field there, and you've got to remember that we can also go and do stuff on the field there with the mower and everything without any issues. It's only when we come to grow something like potatoes up there that we've now essentially lost a small slice of the field. But I'm not planning on growing potatoes there in the immediate future. So if we want to grow potatoes, and if we decide that actually that tiny, tiny little piece of land up through there is going to make all the difference to what we want to do, then we can always come back and re-plow it. The only thing I don't like is that the slight dip just in there, and that is going to bug me every single time I come up here to do any work on this field. I will see it, and I'll think, got that bit there. But I'd have to go and get the plow. I have to bring it up. Actually, I've got the plow right there. I could do that. I could just run it alongside there, do a little bit. Maybe I will. I might give in and go and do that. Okay, so the hired help now can just work from this point out to there, and then just start working in towards the little line that we've gone and done there in the middle. So we'll come up here and then turn round and go on and do that. So you can go and do that bit. I've got the plow right here. Let's go over and tidy up that little bit over that. You knew I was going to do that. Don't act so surprised. You knew that I was going to do that. So don't try and pretend that you didn't. We're going to go straight over here, and we're going to get that little tiny bit so we've got the straight edge on the field. And yes, I know no one would ever actually bother doing that in real life. There wouldn't be any points, because you would just do it with the cultivator, wouldn't you? So you wouldn't actually have to worry about it in the slightest. But I don't have the cultivator to do that with, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the plow. I'm going to plonk it down there like that. I'm going to go forward on that little bit right there, and then I'm going to stop. And I'm going to go over here, move you out of the way. I'm going to go to start landscaping, and then I'm going to go back here, and then I can just do that, and that, and that, and then that's actually a reasonable curve that comes around here anyway, so I don't need to change any of that. That can all stay as it is. Don't need to change any of that. Job done. Right. So let's go back over to this side. I'll keep going from the side that I was on down over here. We'll start working from down here. Just been watching this one for a little bit. He's doing an absolutely perfect job. We got no complaints with what's going on here in any way, shape or form. Takes a little bit for him to sort of shunt round and turn the corner on the headlands, especially on the other side, but he's still doing it without too much issue. There doesn't seem to be any major problems going on. The hired help is a little bit expensive, I feel. Does seem to be ticking down fairly quickly, but I mean, even that overall is not sort of breaking the bank. It's potentially a bit of an issue, but it's not like the end of the world type issue. So I'm going to leave that one to just carry on and do what it's doing, and I'm going to go over here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have that one, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to follow along the outside round. like that. And we will scratch out an extra bit of a line along here so that we have got plenty of width on this bit for and then doing the inside lines, because the inside lines, they're always the ones that if you overlap just a tiny little bit too much, that's where the problems start. You start to get really, really uneven edges on your fields, and I don't really want that. I want it nice and tidy looking. There's one bit right here that looks a little bit uneven, and I'm wondering if we ought to do that again, just smooth it out. I'm thinking at the moment that I want to leave it and not smooth it all out. Just leave it as it is, and we will hope that it's enough as it is. But then if it's too bad, we'll just go back over it at a later date. Because we've already done lots and lots of smoothing out. I think we'll just leave that bit. There is that one bush right there that I am definitely going to smooth out. So let's just go in here and get that one. So I want to go all the way down to really, really small. And I want to change it over. And we want grass. There. Do that and change that over to grass. The other bush over here, this one, we'll leave that one where it is. The ones over the other side, obviously, we don't need to worry about them in the slightest anyway. Where are you? Oh, I couldn't see the tractor over there. He's up over there. I thought maybe he'd sort of wandered off down this way and gotten lost. But no, he hasn't gotten lost. This bit here is a little bit weird. The way that it tilts over, which is why I'm wondering if I need to do something in there. Quite possibly I will. I mean, we don't have big machines on this though, so it's almost definitely not going to present any problems. Because we're not using any big machines on there shouldn't, in theory, be any issues with it anywhere at all. Now, he's come to the end of that bit right there. Gone all the way to the end of the row over here. He's gone again. Now he's going to turn round. Okay, he should stay as he is without causing us any issues. Yeah, you don't need to do that every time one of the workers comes near the edge of the road. Just because you're scared doesn't mean he's doing something wrong. You could just be a nervous driver. There is always that possibility that you are just a nervous driver. I'm actually going to do this all from this side, and we'll have the plough line in the middle, the extra furrow. We'll have that one that'll end up being in the middle of the field, and then we can cultivate over that several times, and then that will tidy that bit up. So I'm also going to come back over here and just run over this little bit once more. That'll keep that nice and tidy. And we'll run all the way out over to here. So once we've gone all the way, we'll go all the way up, turn round, come back, and we can check on our cultivator again, and we'll probably be moving out into the main field by that point. I'm not going to worry about getting this main field planted with grass tonight, despite the fact that we could go and do that, actually. We would actually be able to get it done, I think. Although possibly we'd struggle because of the lack of money that we have. That would be the only issue that we would get. But I don't think I am going to worry about doing it tonight. I think we will leave it until tomorrow. One thing that I will do after we've done the ploughing is I'm going to leave the electric tractor where it is to carry on. Actually, no, we won't. We'll switch over and we'll put the cultivator onto this tractor, and then we can take the electric tractor over to the BGA and we can move a bit of silage before the morning, which means then we've got some more money to do a few other bits with. There was a wasn't there a fertilizer job going as well? We'll have a look at that in a minute. Right. That's that bit done. No, he's turned round up there. I was just making sure that cultivator over there turned round in the right place. What I really don't want it to do is something stupid like going down and cultivating up the potatoes that we've only just finished planting. So we're going to have to keep an eye on those. keep an eye on the tractor driver, because we all know that some of these tractor drivers aren't exactly overburdened with intelligence, and they are likely to go and do something a little bit ridiculous at times. And it's the kind of thing that would make the owner of any farm just curl up into a ball and weep tears onto his boots. However, Helper A has completed their task, does suggest that perhaps this worker is one of those that, despite the fact that he is confused about simple issues like tying his own shoelaces, has decided to ask for help rather than trying to go it alone in the big wide world and trying to be brave and figure out how to tie his shoelaces. He's decided just to stop and out of directions, which I'm quite pleased about, to be honest. So we'll just bring you back over here. I'm just going to stop that one right there a second. And right, hired helper, you go round, that you make the rabbit ears, and then it goes round the tree and into the hole. Can you do that? There you go. Let's just set that one down there. I know I'm doing half an overlap there, which quite frankly I don't really need to do. That was my fault, not the worker's fault. So let's try that again, shall we, from here. Let's take it from the top, people. And there we go. Right. I am going to stick with this one, just over the brow of the hill. I found out something interesting. Well, it was actually a little while ago now, but I was just thinking about it because you said take it from the top, people. Take it from the top and break a leg. Both things that are used commonly in theatre. The sayings originated in theatre. Take it from the top means go back to the top of the piece of paper with the lines on, the sheet of lines. So take it from the top, you're moving back to the top of that piece of paper with the lines on it, and you're starting from there and moving back down through again. So take it to the top, or take it from the top, is something that is sometimes used. I don't really hear the saying very much, but I do hear it for some films that are set in different regions. Not necessarily this country. It seems to be a more common saying in the US. But anyway, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. What I am going to do here a minute is... Yeah, you're supposed to be going backwards, not forwards. So, yeah, it does seem to be a saying that is used, or at least it used to be used, because I haven't heard that said in a while in newer films. Excuse me. So maybe that's something that's just kind of gone out of fashion. It could very well be. The other one is break a leg. Now, I've heard break a leg quite a bit, and I've heard quite a few different people using it in real life as well as on films. But break a leg is something that you say as, wishing good luck. And it originated in theatre, again. And it was when you were auditioning for a part. Why would someone say break a leg when you're auditioning for a part? Reason is, they're basically saying, if you're saying, I hope you break a leg, what happens when you break your leg? You get a cast put on it. So they're hoping that you end up in a cast. Going to audition for a part in a play. What's the group of people called that play that do the play? They're the cast. And that's what they're hoping, is you end up in a cast. That's where the saying originated from. So, yeah, you say to someone, break a leg, it's, I hope you end up in a cast. And, or I hope that you get your part and you end up in the play. And I always thought that was actually quite cool, because I knew that break a leg was basically good luck. I didn't realize where it came from, why you were telling someone to break a leg. How is telling someone to break a leg wishing them good luck? And it wasn't all that long ago that I found that one out, and I've always, since I've heard it, I was going to say I've always thought, but no, it's only I think maybe 6 months ago I found that one out. Since I found that one out, I thought that was pretty cool. Like that's quite a cool origin story for a phrase. But there's all kinds of phrases out there, and what they mean, and where they originated from, and some of them are really, really awesome. Some of them are, quite dark, admittedly, but then human history does have some pretty dark chapters. So some of the sayings and phrases are not particularly great, some of the sayings and phrases are absolutely fantastic. There's all kinds of different ones. And then there's the sayings and phrases that have kind of gotten a little bit mutilated over time. And so that they're never quite said correctly. And it's the things like curiosity killed the cat. That's always one that's used by a lot of people have always used curiosity killed the cat to me, because, you know, I've always been someone who's asked questions. And so in order to get me to stop asking questions, I have heard throughout my life, curiosity killed the cat. People don't tend to say that to me anymore, because now I know the rest of the saying, and the rest of the saying died out quite a long time ago. You really don't hear people using it very much anymore. But the full saying is curiosity killed the cat, and satisfaction brought it back. So basically, yes, curiosity may have killed the cat, which a lot of people use as a, you know, they say that to you to get you to stop asking questions. But the simple fact of the matter is, the full phrase is basically encouraging you to ask questions and get the answers as well. Which, now, since I found that one out a few years ago, nobody ever really argues that one back, because as soon as I say the full phrase and explain the full phrase, well, you've only said half of that phrase there, you do know the rest of it, don't you? No, I don't know, and yada 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 yada, and then I never get told that again. It's basically now just stop asking questions instead of the other one. But yeah, so there are quite, I know I have talked about this before somewhere. I don't know if it was on one of these videos or one of the other farming videos or what, but yeah, it's something I was thinking about. I don't know about the cast thing. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, the whole break a leg thing, but I was just thinking about it earlier, and it's something that I always find quite fascinating, the way that the languages evolve and how different languages evolve into different things. You can have neighboring countries and the languages sound completely different from each other, and usually neighboring countries' languages do sound pretty similar, unless there is a pretty good reason that the countries would be fairly separated. Like French and German, for example, are completely different languages, but despite the fact that the countries are next to each other, very close, you've got now this is where I need to really think hard about my European geography, because I'm pretty sure that France and Germany do share a border. As I suspected, France and Germany do share a border. I just wanted to check how big a border it was. It's about 450 kilometers long. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.